Hey guys, Ryan here at Signature Edits. Inside this video, we are going to be covering Pinterest, and most importantly, the top tips I'm going to give you to really build your business and get your work out there using this incredible social media platform for photographers. Are you ready? Let's do it. Alright, so we're going to go through here and grab some awesome content. I'm going to show you how to create content that gets views, gets pins, gets links, and people visiting your website. But first, let me show you a little bit of proof, just so you know that I'm not making this stuff up. I've actually done it and seen results. Overall, every month, my Pinterest account gets about 1 million impressions. That's a total audience of around 400,000 people with engagements. That means people who actually click the pins and visit my website of around 30,000 people. Now, these numbers are very, very low compared to what I was seeing a few months ago when I was really investing a lot of time in Pinterest. So that's what's really cool about this is once you create this content, it keeps working for you. Whereas the difference is if you post something on Instagram, we all know you might get some likes that day, maybe the next day, but after that, your content's kind of dead, right? You post a photo, it does something once, and then it kind of disappears in the bottom of the feed and gets lost in Instagram's algorithm, right? Well, with Pinterest, when you create a pin, if it actually gets repinned, it's going to basically be resurrected to the top of the feed, and it'll have a chance to be rediscovered by other people. And the more popular your pins get over time, the more they'll be seen over time. So it's not like you're creating this resource like an Instagram post that just you post it once and it's dead. On Pinterest, you can literally post one photo, and that photo will continue to grow and work for you and your business and your marketing for maybe even months or years sometimes, depending on the pin. So the real question is, how do we come up with content that is going to get repinned? What is the difference between Pinterest content that works and Pinterest content that doesn't? And overall, my number one tip for you is it's all about the content and creating content that serves your specific target audience. That's everything when it comes to Pinterest, creating good quality content that your audience is actually going to be interested in. Not just random stuff, random photos that you think are cool. You need to do some research here to really get results. So the first thing you want to do, if you're actually thinking about creating content and creating a Pinterest that's going to reach people and get more visitors to your website, both for SEO and for getting more clients, we're going to go up here and we're going to search for our specific topic. So let's say that I was a wedding photographer in Memphis. I could search here, wedding photographer Memphis, or I could just search for wedding photographer. It really depends on how kind of niche you want to go with this, but we're going to just put that in for starters and just see what is kind of showing up in our feed. Now, my other tip, next tip, I guess, tip number 2, is that the pins that have text are going to perform and outperform pins that are photos only. They're going to do this for a couple of reasons. The first is that people are generally just more interested in that kind of a thing. So something like, as we scroll, you just notice that your eyes are probably naturally drawn to the beautiful photos, but also the ones that have text. You just can't help but want to read it, right? So that really, really matters. That's the first thing. We want to have text. But secondly, the reason we want to have text is not just to grab someone's interest, but to actually get them to visit our website. Because the thing is that Pinterest, a lot of brides, if you're a wedding photographer or people planning a photo shoot, are going to use Pinterest just to pin ideas. So if this were me and I was interested in this photo, I might hit save, and I would save it to a specific board, and then I would move on, and I would never look at this person's website. We don't want that. We want people to actually visit our website, see our work, and hopefully book us, right? So what we want to do is incorporate text or some kind of a reason for them to actually visit. So, for instance, some great ideas for this is roundup posts. So 35 great first look locations, 25 ways to get amazing candid photos. That kind of thing is going to get a lot better results and give people a reason to visit because they can only see a little snippet, a sneak preview in our pin. We don't want to give away the whole show. We want to get them to click through to our website to see the rest, right? So The Knot has a quiz here. What's your wedding style? Again, there's a reason you actually need to click through because if I want to take the quiz, I need to go to thenot.com. So start by just searching for your keyword, which I've done here with Memphis wedding. But let's say we were really ambitious here and we wanted to rank for wedding photography and get our pins up here in the very top. Let's look for what they kind of have in common. The caption is going to be very, very important as well. So look at these roundup posts we've got. We've got 20 pre-wedding photo shoot ideas for the bride. The ultimate wedding day decor inspiration. 28 best awesome brides photography ideas. You can see that 90% of these ones in the very top are all roundup posts. We've got top 10 tips for brides on how to get great wedding something. So we have to click through even to see what is inside of here, great wedding photos. So a beautiful image, yes, we definitely need a beautiful image. We also want a beautiful caption, and if you can incorporate text, this is a little bit cheesy, but apparently it's working because it's showing up at the very top here. It might be a ad, that might be why that's coming up. But all the same, if we can get text on the image, all the better. And if we can have a nice caption that's going to give us a reason to click through, all the better, okay? And we obviously need a beautiful image. And the design, the beauty as a photographer is you don't have to worry so much about design because you can just post some beautiful photos. So let's start by this is what I normally do. I'll search for the keyword that I want to rank for. We'll do some research and we'll just grab some different captions. So I'm going to open up a note right here on my computer, make a new one. And then I will just start writing down some captions. So we've got top 10 tips for brides on how to get, and then we can just fill in our own. And the beauty is, it doesn't matter if you're a wedding photographer, you can still rework these to fit your type of photography. Right, so for instance, if I was a landscape photographer, top 10 tips for, and I don't know what your target audience is, but you have to think, what would they be interested in? So if a landscape photographer is trying to sell more landscape photography, well, top 10 photo locations or top 10 ways to display artwork in your home, top 10 types of prints to order, top 10 ways, or here's 20 amazing art displays for your home. 20 amazing art displays for your cabin, whatever. You could come up with different variations that fit your type of photography. So we'll keep going here. We've got 20 mountain photo ideas. And you can see that one of these people probably just copied the other, right? They said, okay, we'll just take 20 top something, and then you put it in there. It's really that simple as far as figuring out your caption. So once you've done that, you've gone through, you figured that out, well, now we're going to actually need to create the post and create the graphic itself. So I normally go through and I'll also grab some kind of designs that I like the look of. So I think that the knots is very effective. I don't think this is necessarily the most beautiful design, but we have a very dark font on a very light background. It's really eye-catching, and it's in its own kind of space up here. So people are going to see that and be much more likely to read it than necessarily just this little, the Knot Wedding style quiz down here. So I'm going to screenshot that for later reference. I'm going to keep going here and see what else kind of just catches my eye, and pay attention to the type of images that your eyes are naturally drawn to. So for example, high contrast images show up way better than a kind of wide, lower contrast image. So this one really does not pop as much as this image right here. So we're going to want to kind of take that into account when we're actually creating our design and choosing our photo. So I'm going to keep scrolling here. We'll see if we find something else. Here's a great one. You want your image obviously to line up with the text. So we've got 18 getting ready photos. So obviously having that detail shot makes a lot of sense. The other nice part is that this particular photo stands out from every other photo of a couple because it's not of a couple. So some variety will also help your photos stand out too. So I know this probably seems really straightforward, but it really is about applying common sense things. Common sense is not necessarily common practice. So we want to go through, we want to be intentional and not just start posting photos and hoping for the best, right? So 18 stylish groom attires for bohemian wedding. I really like this one. And again, we've just got a standard photo. Nice photo, great caption. That's what we're going for. So let's scroll a little bit more. So here's another example with text. So my eye is naturally drawn to this, even though I think it's really ugly. That's just me. You might think this is awesome. I personally do not. But I know that because I think this is not very nice, other people are likely to agree with me. And there's people out there for every taste, right? So my people might not click on this, but I could definitely take this same kind of idea, take this exact same design, and just rework it so that it has better typography and a few better styled images, and bam, I've got myself a beautiful post. Now, another thing to note is that long posts inside of Instagram, long images obviously get more real estate. So the larger the image, the more likely you'll get a click because it's just going to take up more of the screen. So you want to go for a larger image. I would definitely screenshot just for that to get the right dimensions so that you can maximize your size on Pinterest. So for example, we'll grab this one, not because it's an inspiring post, but we've got a few examples. All right, once that is finished, we're going to head over into Photoshop. Let me show you how to create some actual content here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go up to my notes pad that I've got my content ideas from. So top 10 tips for brides on how to get 20 wedding photo idea shoots, 20 mountain wedding photo ideas. So let's go with one that's say 25 amazing fall decor ideas. And we'll add fall wedding because we want to rank for that keyword. So it's good to have the keyword in there for what you want to rank for, which is wedding. And then we're going to open up one of these screenshots that I just took. Now, if you want, you can go ahead and actually look up Pinterest exact dimensions that they recommend. I find this is just as well because Pinterest will automatically resize it for me as long as I've got the aspect ratio down. Okay, so I've got my little system right here. And obviously, I don't have any fall wedding decor ideas kicking around, so I could try and track some down. Unsplash is a great spot to get free imagery. And if you don't have Photoshop, don't worry. You can either use, what's that one called? Photopea.com is a free online version of Photoshop where you can download and design your own kind of Photoshop designs. Or you can even use something like Canva, which has awesome templates pre-made for Pinterest, which is really, really great and cool. So you can apply these same things for free on Canva or for free on Photopea, whatever you prefer. This is just how I like to do it because it's easier for me. I already know how to use Photoshop and I have it on my computer. Okay, so as I was saying, we're going to try and grab some images here, unsplash.com, and then I'm just going to look for fall. The beauty of Unsplash is that you actually can download and use these photos for free. So this might work. Obviously, I'd rather it be a wedding image if I can get some. But these might work as well. This is really great because we've got a very black background. So although it's not super like wedding vibes, if we put text on top, it's going to show up really, really well. And I'm just going to go through and I'm going to try and grab a bunch of different images. And this is where most photographers and most people on Pinterest really are missing out in a huge way. And here's why. Because most photographers, most people on Pinterest are going to create one pin with one image, one text headline. They're going to post it and hope for the best, and that's it. Why would you do that when you could make several, test them all, see which one performs the best, and then actually be scientific about it and make more photos like the one that worked, right? Rather than just hoping once. You know, you take one shot in the dark and you hope to hit something. Well, you might not. So why not download a bunch of different photos, grab a bunch of your different wedding shots, and make a bunch of different pins? Also, because if you post 20 pins on Pinterest, you're going to get way more viewership than you are if you only were to post one or two. Okay, let's grab my photos that I've downloaded here. I'm going to grab those, drag them into Pinterest, into Photoshop, and we will just import them all. Okay, we've got all of them. We're going to start with the one I like the most, which this is okay. Let's start with this one. So I'm going to resize. I just hit Command T on my keyboard, and I'm clicking, dragging, resize like that. That should be okay. And I'm going to put an overlay on here. So I hit U, and I've got my rectangle set to black. Perfect. We're going to set that to multiply. Turn the opacity down. I'm trying to go very fast because for those of you not using Photoshop, this isn't super, super helpful. You can just make your own pin on Canva or whatever it is. So what do we want? We were 20 amazing fall wedding decor ideas. Perfect. Okay, so let's get out of the crop. Also, Photoshop, I just want to gripe for 2 seconds. Why is it that when you crop, it takes so long to do something so simple? You're just cropping. It shouldn't take, like, mad processing power. Let's see. And then I'm going to put my, let's just call it Jane Austen Photography. Okay. Let's resize that text so that it's smaller. So hopefully you can see it's pretty straightforward. I'm not putting a ton of work and effort into it. I'm just trying to get it more or less something that I like for now, and then we can tweak things from there. I'm going to set that to regular maybe, or even light. Okay, something like this. Put that maybe in the middle. And our rectangle can be slightly darker. And then one thing I like to do in Photoshop, because remember we said that the high contrast image showed up better, I'm going to just add some contrast to my image. Something like that. Okay, this is not my idea of the perfect design. I would spend more time on it, maybe make it more beautiful. But what we're going to do is now that we've got our text kind of nice the way we want it-ish, maybe make that a little bit more spread out. Fill up the entire canvas. Okay, now I can just take these images that I've got. We're going to save our first pin. Perfect. I can resize it maybe to make it slightly bigger, or I can leave it like this for now. Remember, as long as you're taking a screenshot and it's reasonably large enough, it's going to be fine. Pinterest will just resize it for us. So we're going to call it 20 fall wedding decor ideas, and then I'm going to make a new folder, wedding decor post. Okay, great. Now I'm going to just save variations. So I've got that first one. I'm going to take this, resize it. Bada bing, bada boom. You can see how quick this is. You really don't need to do a new design. You just take your images, and we're going to do one after the other after the other. This one we're going to add some contrast. Once again, that's maybe too much. Something like that. Maybe darken it. Let's just play around here. Okay, that's good for me. Save. Next image. And I'm going to go through here, and you can see it's really pretty straightforward. We're just going to make a bunch of different posts, well, different images for the exact same post. We don't have to write a bunch of posts. We don't have to make a ton of different blog articles to start ranking on Pinterest. All we have to do is just make a whole bunch of these pins. It's way more efficient than trying to do one pin for one post and just hoping for the best, than making another post and hoping for the best, right? So what we can do is, once we've made all of these, I'll normally aim for, anywhere from 4 to 10 per post. After I've gone through, I've created all of them. I'll obviously make my post and make sure it's an awesome post. I'm going to get lots of awesome fall wedding decor ideas. Just try and make the most helpful post out there, right? We want to actually make content that helps people. And I'm going to link that on my website. So I would create that post, I'd set the link, and then I would upload my pins. So let's just show you how I would do that. So we're going to grab this, go to my, no, not full wedding. We're looking for wedding decor post. Grab that first one. And then here's the important part, okay? So the title is what's going to show up underneath our pin. So I need to make sure that's really great. 20 amazing fall wedding decor ideas. And then I'm going to elaborate a little bit. Looking for design and decor ideas and inspiration for your fall themed wedding. We've put together 20 amazing and inspiring fall-themed wedding decor ideas. Okay, so here's what I'm doing that's very important here. The first is that the headline is going to really, really drive traffic. It's going to draw people in, and they're going to decide whether or not to click on this pin according to the headline. So make sure that it's a good one. Also, we need to have our actual keyword that we want to rank for in this headline as well as in the description. So for this particular pin, I want to rank for fall wedding ideas or fall wedding. So I've got that in there. And again, repeating it in the description, we've got design, we've got decor ideas, we've got inspiration, we've got fall-themed wedding, and then I repeated it again, fall-themed wedding, we've got decor ideas, and inspiring fall-themed wedding. So all of these different keywords I can potentially rank for. Now I'm going to create a board, whatever board it might be. It might be for wedding inspiration. We'll create one called Wedding Planning Inspiration. We're going to create, swoosh, and then I'm going to put the link to my post, right? And then we will publish. Now, I'm going to keep doing this with my other posts and my other variations. So we'll wait for this to go ahead. Actually, we don't need to wait for it. I don't actually need this pin, but that's fine. Okay, we'll see our pin. I'm just going to delete it right now because obviously this does not have an actual link to it. So we'll edit and delete. The next thing that I would do, normally what I'll have happen is I'll take this pin, I'll have it just like this, and then I'm going to open up a new Pinterest window. Not my expenses, but a new Pinterest window. I'm going to upload a new pin, grab our next one in the sequence here. Bam! And then I'm going to go over to this window. We're just going to copy over our title, copy over our description, copy over our link. This is going to save you a lot of time. Trust me, you want to have 2 different windows open. And then after I've gone through and I've added all of these pins, so 6 to 8 different pins with the same description, same title, same link, then I might actually go through and do them all again with a different description, different title, and the same link. So you're able to then see which ones will perform better. So a week from now, I can actually look back and I can go to my analytics And if you don't have analytics right now, it's probably because you're using a personal profile on Pinterest. You can update it to a business one for free. It's really easy and simple. And then I'll be able to actually look at my pins, and I can sort them. Actually, it's going to show up my most recent ones anyways. But I can look at my pins, see how many impressions they're getting, how many click-throughs they're getting, and figure out which one's actually performing better. Then I can go ahead and kind of cater my results, cater my future pins around what's actually working, rather than just guessing, rather than just taking a shot in the dark. So these kind of posts are going to get you way, way better results than just posting your photos and hoping for the best. Because as we said, if you just post a photo, people might pin it, but they won't necessarily visit your website at all. So it really doesn't do much for you unless it happens to be so amazing that they click through and they're like, I need this photographer, and they hire you. That could happen too. I think you should definitely use Pinterest for posting portfolio work. But if you really want to capitalize, you really want to exponentially grow your results, this is the kind of method you want to go for. Creating content that is actually helpful, that gets your future clients to actually go through to your website, interact with your work, and you help them out, right? The thing that you do while you're creating these kind of articles and people are clicking through your website is create trust with your clients. And you create that reciprocity because people are like, oh man, that was so helpful. They see your wedding work, they see all of the stuff you've done, they appreciate you. That's the kind of client who is primed to actually book, right? So that's going to achieve some more things for you as well. This is how you start to rank, is by having those keywords, creating really nice pins that have a nice length to them. We want to kind of capitalize on the text, the high contrast images, using what already works. We don't want to build our pins and our strategy around just randomness and guessing and hoping for the best, or even what we like. We want to build it around what our client likes, what our client is interested in, and then we actually want to see what is already working on Pinterest and take that and just do it even better, right? Okay, so those are my top tips when it comes to using Pinterest to really harness this social media platform for your photography business. If you want to continue building your business, you want to dive deep into these kind of strategies, make sure to check out my Pinterest Marketing Mastery course. I'll leave a link below with a 25% off coupon code if you're interested in that kind of thing. Also, if this video was helpful for you, make sure to do me a big favor, hit that like button for me, subscribe for future content, tutorials, and just free stuff, and leave a comment below sharing your favorite Pinterest marketing strategy, your top tip, and I will choose one of those comments to receive a free version, a free copy of Pinterest Marketing Mastery, all right? So leave a comment because you just might win this course for free. All right, I will see you in the next video. Peace.